but my hand was made strong by the hand of the Almighty. Forward in this generation, triumphantly, won't you help me sing these songs of freedom? 'Cause all I ever had, redemption songs, redemption songs. Hey there. My name's Mark, and I just want to take a moment to let you know about and to invite you to the South City Folk Jam. Now, the South City Folk Jam is simply a gathering of musicians of all skill levels who meet twice a month just to play a lot of fun songs together. So if you play a folk instrument, such as an acoustic guitar, or an ukulele, or banjo, or mandolin, or a fiddle, or bongos, or an accordion, or a washboard, or maybe you just like to sing, then I want to invite you to come on out and join the band. Now, when you come, you will be handed a songbook that is filled with all different styles of folk music. And we use that term in a very generous way. Folk music can really be anything from old-timey mountain music, if you know the movie Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, that kind of stuff from a long time ago. But folk music also includes selections from the American folk revival of the 1950s and 60s. So Bob Dylan, Peter, Paul and Mary, Pete Seeger, all that kind of stuff. But also a lot of what we play are just hits from the 1960s all the way through the current day. So it could be the Beatles or the Eagles or Joni Mitchell or Green Day, or as I was playing just there, Bob Marley. Just all over the map. And the main thing, though, that all these songs have in common is that they're relatively easy to play. So as long as you know your 10 basic chords, you're going to do just fine at the Folk Jam. So if you come, you should know a G chord and a C chord, D, E, E minor, A minor, B7, B minor, and F. There it is. And that's about it. I think that was all 10. Now, there are a few outlier chords that show up once in a while, but seriously, like 90% of the songs we play are some assimilation of these 10 chords. So what I really appreciate about the Folk Jam, amongst many things, is the way that it works for all skill levels of musicians. So say, for example, you're a relative beginner. Maybe you've only been playing for a couple months, but you know your 10 basic chords, then you're going to do just fine. You're going to make it through every song. You're going to have a whole lot of fun, and you should come out for the Folk Jam. Now, it may be that your strumming and your rhythm are still kind of in process and you're still working on those things, but one of the best ways to really grow, especially in terms of rhythm and strumming, is to come and play with better musicians. And you'll find that over time, the more you play, the more that kind of intuitive sense of rhythm will just kind of grow naturally in your playing, and you'll see a lot of growth. So the Folk Jam works great for relative beginners, but the Folk Jam is also a lot of fun for real seasoned players. Maybe you've been playing for decades and you got some chops. Well, come on out. We can showcase what you can do, make room for solos and stuff like that if it works, and it's just a whole lot of fun. So the Folk Jam works for all skill levels, whether relative beginners, seasoned, or somewhere in between. The Folk Jam, if you come, you will be in the band. Now, the next dates for the Folk Jam, the summer dates for the Folk Jam, have been announced. The Parks and Rec Guide for South San Francisco has been published, and so the dates are in there. And you can see right now on the screen the dates for June, July, and August. Now, normally, most of the time, we meet twice a month. We meet on the second Saturday of each month from 3 to 5 p.m. and the third Friday of every month from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. There is one exception this summer, that the third Friday in June, June 19th, is a holiday, Juneteenth. So the Parks and Rec is closed that day. So we're actually going to meet on the fourth Friday in June. That's the only exception. Otherwise, we meet on the second Saturday and the third Friday. We meet at the South San Francisco Parks and Rec building, which is right there on the corner of El Camino and Chestnut. And we meet on the second floor in room 235. There is a $6 drop-in fee for all drop-in classes at the Parks and Rec, which is cash only. So if you could bring that, that would be much appreciated. So that's about it. I encourage you to come on out. I am really grateful for our Folk Jam. Not only is it a lot of fun for me to lead, but I just find it's been really powerful. A really sweet experience to kind of invite people out of their homes for a little bit, get away from screens for a little while, and come and reconnect with people again, especially through music. It's really healthy, really fun, really life-giving. You know, we live in a culture that seems to be increasingly distracted, isolated, frazzled, lonely, and the Folk Jam's fighting against that, and it's waging a good fight. So I want to encourage you to come on out. Again, you can find the dates in the South City Parks and Rec. You can also check our website, southcityfolkjam.com, for more information. Alrighty, hope to see you there. Won't you help to sing